Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Takeover Sports Show. I'm the king of LA Sports, Richard Lopez, and today we are going to be a little bit different. As you can see, I'm flying solo. Solo dolo, the Lone Ranger, Batman with no Robin, just a man with a camera and all of my wonderful people out there watching the king of LA Sports. I thank you for tuning in. First off, I want to go back to last week's show. I talked about Sportscasters LA, and I forgot to mention the man who was one of the biggest helps to the king of LA Sports. Justin Alderson, thank you, friend. Well, I consider you a friend already, and why not? Who wouldn't want to be friends with the king of LA Sports? All right. In all seriousness, Justin Alderson is also a graduate of the Academy of Radio and TV, and he was truly a class act. Even though he is big time, he still talked to me as an equal, and as an amateur reporter, it meant a lot to have the respect of a man that I truly look up to. So once again, I'm going to thank Mark Willard, Ben Lyons, and especially Justin Alderson. You guys will never know what you did for myself and my confidence for the business, as if I needed any more confidence. Speaking of Mark Willard, I had the privilege of attending the Michael Sweetbells Thompson documentary private screening of The Trailblazer at LA Live presented by ESPN 710. It was this past Wednesday, and to be honest, I have never been so inspired by any film in my life. Sweetbells, as I like to call Mr. Thompson, showed me that a positive attitude can take you a long way. No matter how bad things get, it's only one chapter of your story. If you have faith, everything else will fall into place. So once again, thank you to ESPN 710 and Mark Willard for the invitation. It's not hard to see why those two have the best radio show in all of Los Angeles. And coming from the king of LA, that should mean something. Well, at least I hope it does. With all that being said, it's time to talk sports. On Monday, CP3 and the Clippers played against the Grizzlies for the first time since last season, where the Grizzlies eliminated the Clippers in 7 games. CP3 got kicked in the face by Tony Allen, and a lot of people are saying it was an accident. I beg to differ. All right, I had been watching a lot of these sports shows lately, and everyone's saying it was an accident, like, Tony Allen is not that type of a guy. And I really beg to differ. Tony Allen is one of the roughest players in all of the NBA. And if you remember correctly, the last year in the playoffs in Game 7, CP3 gave Marc Gasol a nice solid punch to the stomach. And this, to me, was a retaliation of that. And I don't know how. It looked like a straight karate kick to the face. I don't know how people are saying that it was an accident. I truly don't think it was an accident. I mean, the Clippers, they like to have their little, they like to get back at people in their own little ways. But, hey, it was a retaliation. And anyone that says it's not doesn't know what they're talking about. The Clippers are obviously pissed off that they got eliminated from the playoffs last year in 7 games. They came out and put first 2 games, won last year. So, yeah, this was a little bit of bitterness. But you know what? Marc Gasol, he needs to step up for himself. He can't really have Tony Allen defending him. Marc Gasol is almost 7 feet. He's a center, and he can't handle Chris Paul. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people are saying that it was totally an accident. There's no way. It was not an accident. There's no way anyone's going to convince me that it was an accident. CP3, I'm sorry, man. You got to deal with it. That's what happens. Just like in baseball and all other sports, there's always a retaliation for being aggressive against another team. There's just no other way around it. I don't know what else to say. Doc Rivers, they look like they're going to have a good team this year. So look for those 2 teams to be matching up again with each other in the playoffs. Moving on, Kobe Bryant returned to practicing full speed this past Tuesday for the first time this season. It was only 5-on-5 drills, but apparently Kobe had to sit out practice on Thursday due to soreness in his Achilles. Well, first of all, I totally believe that Kobe Bryant was going to be back in the beginning of the season, but I mean, that Achilles is nothing to mess around with. Even with the great Kobe Bryant and his skills, he's still going to have to take time to nurse that torn Achilles. You can't just come back and be Superman. He's older. He's getting a little bit up there in age, and he's not going to be able to handle all this different types of speed. And he's not, let's put it this way, he's not 28 years old no more. These injuries take a lot of time to heal. So Kobe, I suggest that he sit out for a long, they might as well keep him out to the end of the year. I mean, we got 1 more month left. Or if you want to ask my opinion, we should actually keep him out until the Lakers re-sign Phil Jackson. but that's just a whole nother issue. Kobe, man, I really hope you get healthy. The Lakers truly can use you. And this Achilles issue is nothing to mess around with. I know Kobe's a true competitor and a true great of the sport, but at the same time, your health is nothing to deal with. And you can't mess with your health. You're not going to be able to help yourself out by trying to rush back. I mean, the team, I don't hate to say this, but I don't know how far they're going to go this year. So I hope that he doesn't rush back, because rushing back is obviously not the right way to go about this. Kobe Bryant, I mean, you're one of the greatest players of all time. You've accomplished so much. You shouldn't be rushing back. I mean, Steve Nash is trying to rush back, but he is obviously very hurt, and he has a lot of pride, so he's trying to live out his contract and try to make the Lakers feel like they got their money's worth. But Kobe is the franchise. He is the face of LA. He's going to retire a Laker, and hopefully he comes back 100%. He's not going to do the Lakers any good if he comes back at 20% or 80%, 70%. It won't do them any good. He's just going to put himself in harm's way, and that alone is going to be almost a disaster for the Lakers, because if they lose Kobe Bryant again, we might be in the #1 lottery pick at the end of the season, and that is just not acceptable by the Lakers at any standard. The Lakers are known for excellence, they're known for domination, and they're known for their legendary players. And we cannot have Kobe go out and have his career ended with a serious injury like that. So Kobe, I hope you get healthy and don't rush back. And I blame it on D'Antoni. Okay. Well, sticking with Kobe and the Lakers, they are 4th place in their division with a 5-7 record and are 3 games behind Golden State, who they play tonight at the Staples Center. I have already had enough of the inconsistency, and this is not acceptable to myself, and I'm sure it is not acceptable to most Laker fans. Okay, I'm going to start right at the top. It's Coach D'Antoni. Yeah, the offense is fast, it's fun, and they're flying around, and some games they're very good, but the defense is basically non-existent. And that is not going to win you championships. It'll get you maybe to the playoffs in the 7th or 8th seed, but it's not going to get you to the championship. So, and it's already been proven. D'Antoni doesn't do nothing in the playoffs. They had such a great team when he had Nash on the team, when Nash in MVP seasons. They did nothing in the playoffs. And this offense is just, it might win you some games, but it won't take you to a championship. And I believe the Lakers should know that already. And I don't know why they're going with Coach Mike No D'Antoni. I should trademark that, because I started talking about that when I first started the school. Jerome knows. So, okay, well, yeah, my Coach D'Antoni is just, wow, he has no, it's exactly like I say, he has no D. He doesn't teach defense. I highly doubt that he will ever teach defense. And to me, it's a bad fit. Like, Kobe's going to come back, and he's going to have to play. He's not going to be able to play the game that fast, like how these guys are running. So, I mean, Coach D, I'm sorry, but to be honest, I think your days are numbered. And the fact that the Lakers brought back Kurt Rambis to sit right beside you on the bench does not look good for you, because he is Phil Jackson's right-hand man. And it was already brought to my attention that last week it was the first time in 320 home games that the Lakers did not sell out the arena. That is a huge problem for Laker fans. And Jeannie Buss, who is the president of business operations for the Lakers, is definitely going to take exception to that. And I guarantee the Lakers re-sign Phil Jackson, that stadium will continue to sell out, and it will sell out for the rest of the season, no matter how the Lakers do. They're in definite need of a change. The Mike D'Antoni system it's not going to work. It's been proven. And I respect the fact that he did good in the Olympics and coached the guys in the Olympics, but to be honest, they had the superstars of the NBA all on one team. I could have been the coach of that team and took them to an undefeated season. So, yeah, Coach D'Antoni, I hate to say it, but your days in LA, I believe, are going to be numbered. Because once Phil Jackson comes back, it's probably doomsday for you. And I hate nothing against you personally, but in my mind, I believe Mitch Kupchak really wants Phil Jackson back. It's just up to Jim Buss to make this all happen. All right, well, please stay right where you are, and we will be right back after this commercial break.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this week's Royal Rant. And this week, I'm not necessarily going to tell you about things that piss me the hell off. I'm just going to tell you about some things that I need to get off my chest. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot be happier. It was like heaven watching all the games on 8 different televisions. Oh, it was a beautiful thing. Okay, but now that I got that out of the way, that brings me to the thing that makes me upset. Fantasy football. I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I play it, so I deserve everything that happens. But I swear some of these people will sell their own children to make a trade. It is ridiculous. A lot of these people, man, they will stab you in the back. They will slice your throat to make a trade in fantasy football to get the upper hand. And it's sad because I've seen friendships end, I've seen friendships created, and I've seen people fight, and it's a beautiful thing. We love fantasy football. It just shows how competitive us people are. And yeah, but it bothers me how personal some people get. Money comes and goes, people. You don't have to end friendships over fantasy football. Cheap shots in the NFL. So the NFL is trying to make the league safer by starting these new programs, teaching children how to hit low and hit the right way. Problem is, in the NFL, the players would rather be hit in the head than having their legs taken out. You take out someone's legs, you're probably gonna end their career. You give them a concussion, they'll probably be out for, 3-4 weeks at the most. You will hurt these players more by making these rules more strict. A lot of these players go out there and they give it their all, and this is how they feed their family. So a lot of them would much rather take that concussion than have their legs broken or ACLs torn, and let them make that decision. They're the ones that are getting paid all this money. Let them make the decisions if it's gonna hurt them or not. Just like people that type for a living. They get arthritis and they hurt their fingers, but they have no one else to blame because they're using their fingers for their whole life. Anyway, now for something a little positive. Chip Kelly's offense. Wow, I'm not an Eagle fan by any means at all, but I can tell you one thing, I appreciate an innovator, a visionary, and people that try to make changes out there, because everyone's afraid of change. Half of these people, half of the critics, half of the announcers, they were all saying how Chip Kelly doesn't know what he's doing and how the college-style offense isn't gonna work in the NFL. I mean, I watch Monday Night Football, and I actually seen it work. And the only problem I see is he's got to get his players even in better shape than they already are. They were in better shape than the Redskins yesterday, but they still were tired in their own right from all these fast-paced offenses. 33 plays in the first quarter. Hey, that's crazy cardio if you're going to be on Chip Kelly's team. But it's the new way of the NFL, and if the people don't like it, then they got to start looking in other places to find jobs, because the NFL is going to be a cardio. Well, at least the new era of the NFL is going to be strictly based on your cardio. So if the Eagles can keep that up, look out for them. And that is all I believe I have this week for you. Tune in next week to my next edition of Royal Rant. Until then, I'm the king of LA Sports, Richard Lopez, reminding all of you that when you live life rich, never be poor. Have a blessed day.
So you think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs this year?
Don't worry, ladies, of course they will. Kobe always comes through on guarantees.
Hey Jerome, think 76 Johnson gonna win the World Series again?
Not a chance, guys. The Angels and Dodgers are both projected to do better than the Giants.
You think the Hawks gonna win it all this year? Doubt it. Who was that man?
Richard Lopez, the king of Los Angeles sports. If it's happening in Los Angeles, it's happening with the king. Cam Newton, thank you for coming to visit the king.
No problem.
I promise to always report truthfully about the Panthers.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
60 minutes of play a day. What am I, a child?
Absolutely.
You know you're talking to royalty?
Yes, sir.
Are you calling out royalty?
Maybe.
You must not know me. You're using a very unsettling tone.
Okay.
That's why Darrell Reeves is going to have 6 interceptions against you this year.
Excuse me?
That's why the Panthers aren't going to win the division. That's why RG3 is better than you.
Whoa.
Oh my god, it's the King of LA Sports.
Oh my goodness. Oh, sign anywhere, just anywhere. Take you a copy of this. There's no way.
I've seen you before.
Oh, hey, King, how you doing?
How you guys doing?
All right, what do you think about Mike Trout this year?
He's doing very good. Excellent 5-tool player, but he's no Yasiel Puig, that's for sure.
All right, well, there it is there.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Are you the King of LA Sports?
Yeah, that's me. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, of course.
So how do you feel about the Clippers this season?
Clippers are going to be good. It's nice to see another team in LA actually making moves.
All right.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Richard Lopez, the king of Los Angeles sports. If it's happening in Los Angeles, it's happening with the king.
Why just find out Dogmatic bitch the Cupid sensation?
What?
Yeah.
I get to the bottom of this one. Hi, welcome to the Takeover. I'm your host, the king of LA Sports, Richard Lopez, aka the Sports Educator. Welcome back, my friends. USC pulled off one of the bigger upsets of the season last Saturday by defeating number 4 ranked Stanford 20-17. Even though the team won the game and have been 5-1 under Coach Orgeron, USC has yet to give an answer as to who their new head coach will be next season. Lane Kiffin has given Coach O his endorsement, but I'm not too sure if Coach O wants that endorsement. All right, well, Coach O, he is literally changed. Like, there's so much of a buzz around USC right now. We haven't had this much of a buzz since they were winning national titles in 2000, 2001, and 02, 03, since we were actually real competitive. And to be honest, it's a breath of fresh air to see the way the stadium stormed the field after the upset on Stanford. I mean, that's how football should be played in Los Angeles. And hopefully we can get an NFL team soon to continue for some pro football. But right now, the college scene is definitely filling that void. UCLA has a good team this year. USC has a great team this year. And to be honest, I think it's Coach O's job to lose. If he can finish out the season and get three more victories under his belt, including the bowl game, I think it's his job. I mean, he has brought intensity, passion, all the different stuff. He was coaching under Coach Carroll, so that automatically, if he learned anything, he's going to be a player's coach. Because these are young men, so you got to show them that you actually care about them and care about their well-being. You got to follow, not follow them, but you got to know and let them know, like, hey, I care. You got to ask them how they're doing, how their family is, all the same stuff you told these kids when you recruited them, you got to keep and follow through to keep these guys there. I mean, they're young kids. A lot of them are away from their family, and they just want to know that they're playing for someone that actually cares about them. So, yeah, I mean, Coach O, it's his job to lose. It's just a great atmosphere around the USC campus these days. He has literally changed the whole prospect of winning a title. Like now it seems we got the number one overall, one of the number one ranked lineman is now going to become, he dropped for Alabama and signed to come to USC, which is a huge step for the program. And Coach O, he is a former lineman and he's just full of passion. And that passion you cannot really teach. A lot of these guys, they come in like Lane Kiffin. He even said if he could change one thing, he would have been around campus and showed the players more support and actually cared about what's going on in the personal lives. And since Lane Kiffin left, Coach O has admitted that he literally changed everything. He changed everything. They had a strict diet, strict meals. Coach O changed it to In-N-Out and movie night Wednesdays. There's all kinds of stuff that Coach O has been doing, and it's really for the benefit of the program. I mean, Pat Hayden has a difficult choice. He's going to have, Coach O is obviously the sexiest choice for the position, but he's got to think long term. And right now, I think he's still juggling on who he should be. Should they get a big name coach? Jack Del Rio's out there. Coach Sumlin from Texas A&M is out there. There's a lot of these coaches that are out there that really need to be checked out by the USC. It's one of the most prestigious jobs you can have. And Coach O, it's his job to lose. Hopefully Coach O can finish out the season strong, and hopefully he'll be able to bring some life back to this Trojans. We haven't been the same since we got those sanctions and all that different stuff. But it looks like we're on the right path. And hopefully we'll find out in the next few weeks if Coach O is the short-term replacement or the long-term replacement. I think he should be long-term, but that's just me. All right. And finally, Heisman candidate and Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston is under some fire for the alleged sexual assault of a woman almost a year ago. The alleged victim has waited almost a year to come out with this report, and that has some people skeptical of her exact intentions. Okay, well, I want to be real careful discussing this subject because obviously there's, a woman's involved and she's claiming sexual assault. So you don't want to just go out and say she's lying because that wouldn't be fair. But the part that I didn't think was fair to her is that Florida is a big football state, and apparently the lawyer of the victim was approached by a police officer. Police officer told the victim's lawyer, hey, we will make her life miserable. This is a football town, and she needs to stop pressing charges. I could not believe that when I see it. Excuse my language, what a dumb police officer. Why would you tell a lawyer that, making threats to a lawyer? That makes no sense. That's absurd, and to be honest, that's quite immature of the police officer. Yeah, it's a football state, but she has just as much rights as Jameis Winston. Just because he's a Heisman candidate and he's up for all the awards this year and he is a potential NFL prospect, high pick, doesn't mean that he has more rights than a victim. I mean, the Jameis Winston camp is alleging saying that the sex was consensual and that they had agreed that, it wasn't nothing forced on her or nothing like that. And to be honest, and I don't, what scares me is that he's not talking. Okay, I understand you have that right, but I know he's talking to the coaches and everybody else at Florida State. And to be honest, that's kind of scary because all that stuff is being withheld when he should be talking to authorities and letting people know. It just, in my opinion, it kind of makes him look bad. Makes him look bad that he's kind of hiding and like not speaking out on it. And the girl, I mean, bless her heart. I hope she can accomplish what she wants to accomplish. And she's actually, a lot of people are saying that she's trying to ruin his reputation, that she just wants money. I mean, he's not pro yet. He doesn't have money. So, I mean, maybe she just couldn't live with herself. I don't know. A lot of people are saying that she's wrong and all, but you can't make that assumption until you know all the facts. And until you know all the facts, and even then, Jameis Winston is innocent until proven guilty. But he's not helping himself out by not talking to the police or, maybe it's his lawyer's advice, but just in the court of public opinion, does not look too good that you won't talk to the police. I mean, this guy is he's one of the better quarterbacks to be at Florida State in the past few years. He's a big man on campus. He obviously has support of most of the people on campus. So, hey, I hate to see this happen to a young man if this isn't true. But if it is true, hey, I don't know. It's alleged. I don't want to go out and say that this stuff happened. There was DNA that matched Jameis Winston found on this girl's dress and all that different stuff. And I don't know how DNA, you're having sexual relations. I don't know why DNA would be all over the dress and not in other parts, but that's just me. So yeah, it's a sad situation. I hope the girl is not, physically harmed or mentally harmed from this, and I hope we can prevail. Justice will prevail in this when all the facts and all that stuff's out there, because it does look like, in a court of public opinion, it's going to affect Jameis Winston's Heisman candidate, potential. So I've talked to a few people that are Heisman voters, and they said, hey, with that, they can't really vote for him on that because they have to assume that it's true. So usually, in my opinion, I'm not always right, even though, sometimes I am right. And in my opinion, when there's smoke, there's fire. So you got to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm sorry, just because he's a pro athlete doesn't mean that he should be getting off on all kinds of stuff. All right, and don't forget, tonight we have a football game. Actually, it was last night. The Saints ended up playing the Falcons, and they barely hung on. The Saints are going to end up going to Seattle next week to take on the Seahawks, and what, in my prediction, is going to be the NFC Championship game. Sorry, Bree. I don't think the Niners have enough to do it this year. Bree, Trey, sorry. I don't think they're going to do it. But yeah, the Saints pulled off a victory, barely beating the 2-9 Falcons 20-17, and it's just setting up another great week of football. USC will be at Colorado. Tonight, the Lakers are playing the Golden State Warriors, who lead the division in the Pacific. And yeah, it should be a good weekend of sports. And yeah, I thank all of you guys for tuning in. Well, that's all I have for you today. Please be sure to tune in next week to the Takeover Sports Show, as I will be back to talk more NBA and the NFL and news over the weekend. I will cover all that and much, much more. Until then, I'm the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez. You can find me at Twitter at Rich Lopez, KOLASE, Instagram, King of LA Sports, Facebook, The King of LA Sports, YouTube, The King of LA Sports, and make sure you subscribe so you can win some good prizes and tickets and all that other stuff. I'm real active on my YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and I am very communicative, if that's a word, with all my fans and everybody out there. And I'm going to leave all of you wonderful people with these sayings that I truly live by. You can ask anyone that knows me. When you live life rich, you will never be poor. And never, 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 never be afraid to roll the dice. Have a blessed day.